Sorry, little one.
覚悟してろよ。行くぜ。
Hi, this is Worldbreaker Cool again, and we are doing the best. So let's take a look at the Marvel Legend cables that I have so we can figure out which one is the best and which one's not, okay? For one, I'm going to have to throw one of these characters out for obvious reasons. One's a movie character and not related to an animated series or comics, which is the majority of the time you see Cable. So with that one, that is this guy here, Josh Brolin. He's the one guy who's not like the others. He is quite a bit significantly shorter, and he doesn't really fit much besides the MCU. Not that this is not a good figure, because it is. He comes with a lot of accessories, a lot of cool sculpt, paint, all that good stuff. I like this figure, but we're getting rid of him out of this category, so we don't have a super long video. And we'll stick with just these four here. We have the 90s or more recent Cable. I forget which wave this is from. I guess I gotta figure out what wave these are from so that way I can call them the right thing. Took a few minutes just to look this up. So we've got, from the left to right, we have the Sasquatch wave Cable, the Juggernaut wave Cable, 97 Cable, and the Zabu Cable. Okay. And some of these are much newer than the other two. The latter two are the newer ones, and these two are the older ones, with this one being the oldest. All right, so let's start with first talking about the accessories. Now, most of them have their accessories on. These two right here on the end did not have extra hands, so that's a bummer. So no extra hands there. These both had extra hands, so that's a point for them. This Cable has this gun right here, which is a nice gun, and this mammoth of a gun right here that you can put blast effects into. So that gives him a nice 2 for 2 accessories, no extra heads. This one here has the exact same thing. He has 2 guns, not as nice. You cannot put the actual bullets inside of these guns, so that's a bummer. No extra heads or anything like that. But so he's got 2 as well. Now, coming to this Cable, 97, he has an extra 2 pairs of hands, which this guy has the same one. So I'm not going to go out and get his hands because they're in a bowl somewhere and I don't feel like looking for them. But they have the exact same hands, so they're evenly matched. Then this guy has this gun here, which is really nice. This is 97's gun, and it comes with 2 blast effects like this. So that's 1 up on him. And this guy has the extra hands and this. So I would say the winner for sure is a 97. 97 has the most accessories. But I still like this Cable accessories the most out of all of them. His being second, but it is what it is. So there we go with accessories. I guess if you really wanted to be a stickler, one of these guns, this one right here, had a little clip for bullets. I lost it. It fell out somewhere. So just know that I don't really consider that accessory. It went with the gun. So whatever. Anyway, so winner for the first category is the 97. So let's look at the articulation. All right, for sake of time, I did the articulation off camera just because there's so many freaking characters I have. I have 4 of them up here, and Cable just knocked out a young lass. So let's get him back up on the screen. So articulation-wise, the one that is the most restricted is this Cable because he has these gigantic shoulders. He is a bit of an older figure, and these shoulders just get in the way, and he's very stiff. Like you can kind of see, I got so much dust on this guy. You can kind of see he's got some double jointed arms, but he's pretty limited as far. Oh wait, he had a 3rd accessory. He's had 3 guns. I'm sorry guys, still not enough. Still not enough. He had 3 guns. So yeah, his articulation is the worst. This guy has some good articulation, except over time he has gotten really gummy. Like you can see right there with the torso portion right here. This is so loose. You barely touch it and it goes back and forth. But he has decent articulation. It's just he's really floppy. And neither one can really do the splits very well. 97 was really good, but he has the same issue that this Cable is suffering with, and that's the arms. You can move them around, but this is a hard plastic here, so that encumbers it. Which means the one with the best articulation is this guy here. He can get the T-poses. None of them have none of them have butterfly joints, but his articulation is just better than the other guys. And I mean, even his splits, you know, he goes the furthest apart, and the crunch also goes the furthest down. So I'm going to have to give articulation this round to Zabu Wave cable. All right. Let's go to the next category. All right, with the next category, we're going to go over price. So that way we can see if you're trying to get a budget cable. The lowest one is right now going to be the 97. He just came out as of this month. Today is the 17th, am I right? 19th, excuse me. So the 19th, this guy still can be bought at cost or at MSRP, whatever you call it. So $27 for him. 30 for the next closest one right there, which is the Juggernaut Wave, followed by 40 for the Zabu Wave cable. And then lastly, the Sasquatch Wave is the highest one at 44 current prices. So the winner in the price is the 97. So 97 is cleaning up pretty good right now. Let's go with sculpt and paint, okay? We'll start with 97. 97 is very bright and vibrant, but his sculpt is very soft. So I don't think that he has the best sculpt. Paints, maybe. He has some paint here. A lot of this stuff is molded in. A little bit of paint there. Molded. A little paint here. His face is painted very well. The X-Men symbol was painted very well, but not a ton of paint. But neither is this one either. Besides the head, he's got some paint here, but most of it is, again, molded. This guy here has some paint. The legs are actually molded plastic. However, all the brown on here is actually painted. The face is painted very well as well. And you've got some paint on this upper portion here and all the grays. So the older figures seem to have the most love with paint. Surprising. But this guy here is just immaculate with paint. That is really good. I mean, I like the paint on him, and he's even got some dry brushing. So I'm going to give the paint department to the Sasquatch Wave cable. Paint and sculpt, excuse me. Next is scale. Cable is listed at 6'8" in the Marvel Universe, and the tallest one, I believe, is a Sasquatch Wave. He is taller than this guy here. Let's get him next to the 97. He's taller than 97. And he's taller than this one here, which is the actual Zabu Wave. Zabu Wave is taller than the 97. Actually, get his head down a little bit. Yeah, he's just a smidgen taller. Just about even there. No, I would say he's probably a smidgen taller than this one, which means our shortest one, going from shortest to tallest, is going to be Juggy Wave. Wow, that's interesting. They're all about the same height, which is good, but this one's definitely the bigger one, the Sasquatch Wave Juggernaut. Let's see how he looks next to other X-Men. As Wolverine, and it being 6'8", yeah, he should tower over him. I feel like that's a good height. Let's bring in Cyclops here, and Cyclops is listed at 6'3", so that's a fair height. So I think we're gonna have to give the scale department to bigger is better and give it to Sasquatch Wave. And the reason I say that is I feel like he's a very imposing figure. He is a tall guy. He's a big guy. So I feel like he fits just in with how he should be. Yeah, he's not like dwarfing characters like the She-Hulk or anything like that. She-Hulk's like almost about the same height as him, which means that one's still a bit too small. So I feel like all of them really could win. I feel like each one. So maybe, you know what? I give a slight edge to this guy, but really, you can fit any of them. Any of them will be fine. All right. Final category. If you guys are still here with me, thank you. I appreciate that. If you're still here, let me know. Should I start showing my face more for these reviews or not? If you don't want to see that, put something in the comments. I'm just curious if you guys want to see more of my personality or less of it. I don't know. Fun factor for me. Which ones have I enjoyed the most? I know I have two older ones. I used to really enjoy this one, but this one's from a really small comic, Extraction, and him being so gummy now, he's not as cool as he used to be, but he does go fit very well with my Hope. So I would say he's probably my least favorite one that I have now in my collection. This guy I love. The new 97 is fun. He's very fun. However, it's just, I can't put him in a lot of different collections just because of the way they painted him, and he's supposed to be 97. So I feel like it's not going to be him as far as, and his shoulder pads really kind of hinder him. So really, the fun factor comes down between these two cables right here for me. And if I'm being honest, even though I feel like this one meets a time period I like more from Cable and that I know more of, this Cable here is more articulated. He's from Marvel vs. Capcom, so he can fit in those scales where you actually have some of those characters. You know, gonna take me for a ride. He fits right in with Marvel vs. Capcom, but at the same time, he fits in with your comic display. So he can do both, and I feel like because of that, I definitely have more fun with them, and I remember this period as well. So I'm gonna have to give fun factor to the Zabu Wave. Now, here comes the crazy part. I actually have a three-way tie. Accessories went to 97. Articulation went to Zabu. Sculpt and paint went to Sasquatch. Fun factor went to Zabu. Scale was kind of a tie, but I kind of leaned towards Sasquatch. And the price was 97. So that means we have a tie between the latter two figures. So now we're going to go down to a gut choice, okay? And my gut choice says if I had only enough money to get one of these figures, or if I had an island I had to scale down, which one would I take between these two? It's going to be this guy all day. He's going to fit in more poses, more different groups. So I would say the overall winner is the Zabu Wave, because I still kind of lean towards this guy, to be honest, more so than him. So out of all three of these, my favorite one is the Zabu Cable. So if you disagree, let me know what your favorite one is out of these four guys. I mean, you can't really lose, to be honest with you. They're all great figures. So I appreciate your time. Thanks for watching another view of mine. Until next time, peace and cable grease.
Subscribe and like. Okay.